Over the years, famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren have come in contact with some pretty terrifying spirits and demons. Some were harmless, just lost souls looking for closure. Others were evil demons looking to harm or kill innocent people. From encountering Beelzebub to the devil himself. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the video Top 10 Demons That Ed and Lorraine Warren Feared, Part 2. So if you haven't seen Part 1, make sure you go check that out. And as always, make sure you smash that like button and obviously subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10. Now, we can get on with the video. Starting off this countdown, we have Maurice. Now, if you've seen The Nun, then you already know a bit about Maurice or Frenchie. This guy was a hard-working farmer that ended up getting diabolically possessed. This occurred in 1985. Sometimes blood would randomly just pour out from his body from like his nose, eyes, and mouth. And he didn't know what was causing it. And then he developed super strength and also could randomly understand and speak Latin. At first, he went to a police officer for help, and then a priest, and then finally Ed and Lorraine Warren agreed to help him. Now, he apparently went through a number of exorcisms. According to the Warrens, during the exorcisms, Frenchie's head would split open, boils would appear on his skin, and crosses appeared all over his body. In fact, they have it all on film. Take a look.
Let's step to the front. Feet up in the shoulder? Yeah. Move, yeah, you're in the way, right? Yeah. Okay.
It literally looks like somebody took something sharp and carved it into him and then it scarred up. But those would appear all over his body. Like the Warren said, Frenchie would often get random cuts on his forehead and scalp. They would split open and bleed during the exorcisms.
How did you enter, Marty?
That is absolutely horrifying. The demon inside of Frenchie put up a huge fight against the Warrens. It certainly made their job more difficult, but also horrifying. In our 9th spot today, we have the childhood demons. Ed Warren's first encounter with the paranormal happened when he was only 5. He claimed that he would see an apparition of a woman. It started off as a dot of light that then transformed into a semi-transparent woman, and then she vanished right in front of his eyes. That encounter at 5 years old must have been absolutely terrifying. After that, Ed would often see his dead relatives that he's never even met before. In fact, one of his deceased aunts told him that when he grows up, he would help many priests, but never become a priest himself. Which was very true. It was like a little prediction of his future. Although his relatives obviously weren't out to get him, Ed still encountered a number of scary entities and demons when he was only just a kid. Which obviously he feared for, obvious reasons. That's terrifying. In our 8th spot today, we have the Military Academy Demons. Back in the 1970s, the Warrens were sent to a military academy in West Point, New York to investigate some paranormal activity. Cadets would complain about feeling watched by an unseen force while they were sleeping. Others saw ghostly apparitions in the middle of the night. One of the scariest encounters was in October of 1972. It was 2 in the morning when a ghost soldier manifested right in front of 2 cadets. Apparently, this demon soldier had menacing eyes that glowed. When the cadets looked into his eyes, they both fell unconscious. When Ed and Lorraine Warren investigated West Point, they found that it was haunted by a number of spirits. One was an Irish cook named Molly. She would just be a little nuisance, but she wasn't evil. Same with another ghost whose name was Greer. He was a soldier turned murderer. He would haunt this place because of his guilt. Now, the evil ghost or demon was given the name the Pusher. He could literally cause someone's entire body to freeze or make them pass out, like I said before. I believe now that that demon is gone, but some of the more harmless ones still haunt that area. In our 7th spot, we have the Donovans. In the 70s, the Donovan family was being haunted by some malevolent demon. It started off with them just hearing loud noises coming from inside their walls, like banging. Eventually, things would happen, like blood would pour out from their taps, and they would hear animalistic growls coming from within their house. The Warrens witnessed this all. Turns out that the daughter, Patty Donovan, used an Ouija board and was communicating with a spirit that claimed it was a young boy. But in fact, it was a demon in disguise as a young boy. After learning about this, the Warrens called for a priest and they exorcised the house from evil. In our sixth spot today, we have the Antonellis. It all started back in February of 1966, when the Antonelli family started experiencing some paranormal visitors. Miss Antonelli was the first to see it. She was about to doze off when she got a feeling that someone was in the room with her. She opened her eyes and saw a mass of gray mist with 4 distinct appendages. She turned on the lights and the figure disappeared. For years, this figure tormented her and only her. Then, it started tormenting her husband. One time, a hammer flew down the stairs right towards him. Thankfully, it didn't strike him. But that's when the Warrens were called in. They conducted a seance and found some pretty dark stuff went down in that house. Like, a girl became impregnated by the neighbor, her baby was then buried in the cellar, etc., etc. The house was just incredibly evil and infested with entities and demons. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the South End werewolf. Probably one of the more bizarre cases ever investigated by the Warrens. Basically, a man named William Ramsey claimed to be possessed by a demon that manifested itself in the form of a werewolf. So then Ramsey started to do werewolf-type things. He said his first werewolf transformation happened when he was about 9. He was playing outside when all of a sudden he got a whiff of something awful, and then his whole body turned ice cold. He then went into a fit of rage. He even managed to rip a complete fence out of the ground, like post and everything. I mean, having that much power as a 9-year-old makes no sense. But it was the demon inside of him controlling him. Things like this continued to happen as he aged. One second he'd be normal, the next he'd be controlled by that demon and go into that fit of rage. During these fits, he always displayed inhuman strength. In fact, he would also growl like a werewolf and snarl like one too. In 1989, the Warrens were assigned to this case and helped conduct an exorcise on him. I don't even know if they got the demons out of him, to be honest. In our 4th spot today, we have the Buddhist exorcism. What you just saw is real footage of the Warrens conducting an exorcism in Japan. So in the early 2000s, the Warrens took a trip to Japan to check out these haunted tunnels that a number of people have died in and were supposedly haunted. But while they were there, they were contacted to perform a Buddhist exorcism on a woman named Teresa. In this clip I'm about to show you, Lorraine is trying to reach out to Teresa and get her to fight back against the demon possessing her.
You hear me? Teresa, you hear me? You understand me? Leave, dear, leave. I'm here to help you.
The footage is very creepy. Not only is it actual footage of someone that is possessed, but you can also hear the demon in her voice reaching out to talk to Lorraine. Now this case is more on the low-key side. Like, I tried to Google more about it, but there isn't much out there. We actually don't know if they successfully exorcised the demon out of her. Now here's the thing. After this trip to Japan, Ed got really sick and his health started to decline. It's thought that maybe the demon that was haunting this girl had something to do with this. Maybe it latched onto Ed as well. Coming in at number 3, we have the vampire. So I just finished talking about the werewolf man, and now may I present to you the vampire girl. Sounds like Twilight. Whose team were you on? Team Edward or Team Jacob? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sorry, I was always on Team Jacob, okay? Anyways, the Warrens had to deal with one case where an 18-year-old girl was possessed by a demon with vampire tendencies. It started when the girl gained interest in the occult and death. She then began practicing satanic rituals, and what do you know? She got possessed. Soon she found herself waiting in cemeteries or dark places trying to lure men in, and then when they got tricked by her, she would bite them and taste their blood like a vampire. Turns out she did this to around 16 people. She was a literal vampire because of this demon in her. Moving on at number 2, we have Beelzebub. You heard me correctly. Lorraine Warren and her son-in-law, Tony Spira, were called onto a case in which a man was possessed by Beelzebub. In Christian texts, the name Beelzebub is often associated with the devil himself. They would alternate between using this name and Satan. He is considered one of the 7 princes of hell, and he is associated with the sin of gluttony. In other texts, he is described as the lieutenant of hell, second in power only to Satan, which is terrifying. Again, they have video evidence of this possession. Take a look.
Okay. You hear me? Jesus Christ has all the power. You have none. What is your name? Jesus Christ commands you to answer that question.
What is your
What
name?
is your name?
Dude, I'm sorry. If I was there, I would have peed my pants. That is horrifying. But that's not all. There were at least 4 other demons inside of this man possessing him. They then asked the demons why they were possessing Roberto, and he replied with power. Like literally, it's terrifying. That's how he said it. That was a really good impression.
Why are you in Roberto? Why are you there with Roberto? Jesus Christ doesn't like demonic spirits within a human spirit.
I don't know about you, but that creeps me out, okay? It's terrifying. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the deal with the devil. For this next case, the Warrens had to deal with the devil himself. It all started when a 19-year-old girl named Leslie from New York made a deal with the devil. Turns out she had a really big crush on a boy and wanted some help winning his heart over. So what does she do? She doesn't go to a love guru, no! She decides to call on the devil and make a deal with him. She offered him her soul if the devil gave her the boy she had a crush on. The deal worked. She got the boy, but the devil got her. So the Warrens literally had to step in and save her from the freaking devil. Like, that's some scary bad there. I'm sorry. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which one of these demons spooked you the most. And now, speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video, top 10 signs of alien life underwater. Jamal Mia commented, yes, freaky. And you're freaky as well, Ivan. Okay. Thanks. Let's move on. Justin Reed commented, this video was interesting and cool. You know what, Justin? You're interesting and cool. Thank you so much. Lazan Futura commented, octopuses is okay. The word is Greek, not Latin. Here's the thing. In one of my videos before this one, I said octopuses, and all the comments, all the comments were, it's octopi, it's octopi, even though I literally Googled it and it says octopi or octopuses, both acceptable. So did Google lie to me, or you guys just like, I don't know. So anyway, I'm just saying octopi from now on. Anyway. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll say ya when I say ya. Under the sea, dun, 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 dun. Okay. Also, that wasn't a fart. I literally just moved on my sofa and it sounded like a little, it wasn't, okay? See?